All right, good afternoon, everybody. Apologize for the delay. We're about to get here started within the next minute or so. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and logging on to watch the Cypress Mandela graduation of summer 2020. Thank you again.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Sound a little weak. It's 2 something in the afternoon. You guys still asleep? No, sir. Okay, let's try it again. Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome, everybody. Today is your day. All right. For guests, I'd like to introduce you to the summer class of 2020, Cypress Mandela training. We have another name for our class too, that we all hold dear to our hearts, but this is a special group. Right here on the balloons too. COVID classes. Right? COVID-19 class 2020. All right, so it's great to have you guys here in the celebration. All right. First, let me talk about the program itself. Would you guys open up your papers, please? For program to the first page about the Cypress Mandela training center. Okay, a little bit of history about the program. We'll kind of read it and add some things to it, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll have an idea for those of us that don't know. This organization was founded in 1993. Okay, it got started, you guys, of course, because of the earthquake, Loma Prieta earthquake in '89. Okay, some of you guys, ladies, are too young to remember when that happened or wasn't around at all. Okay, but very tragic and deadly earthquake here in the Bay Area that unfortunately took a lot of lives. But out of that tragedy came something like this. Okay, training center. Okay, that of course was directed by Mr. Arthur Shanks. Gentleman right here, you guys get a chance to meet him, who was our leader for many, many years. I believe he led the program for about 29 years until he passed. All right. So everybody knows what we do here. Of course, we're a 16-week program. Pre-apprenticeship is one of the best things I think going. Gives you guys an opportunity to learn the basics. So when you get out there, you're not so goose green. Okay, when you get out there. So I believe it's a very, very important program. All right, and of course, everybody knows that we are co-ed. All right, so ladies are encouraged to come. Okay, so you guys have learned both hands-on and classroom training here, right? Yes, sir. Absolutely. Okay, a lot of environmental courses. You got life skills courses from Mr. Butler. You got your carpentry, of course, from Mr. Scott, math, and electrical from Mr. Marchand, and of course, myself personally, health and safety. All right, so everybody understands about health and safety now, right? Yes, sir. Whose job is to keep you safe on the job? The employer? Is the employer? The employer. Who is it? Absolutely. It's his responsibility too. Yeah. All right, think about yourself in that case, right? Yes, sir. All right. So here you guys at Cypress, you guys gained, which was very, very important to me, and one of the most important courses in the entire lineup of the curriculum is the life skills component. All right? The life skills component. Okay. Everybody has issues and baggage. You guys have to learn how to put all that stuff aside so that you can come in here and act as a professional so that you can learn. All right? You guys are going to be able to do that. Okay? Life is on-the-job training. Remember that too. All right? But keep some of these things that you learn here at Cypress. It'll help you go a long way once you get out there. Okay? So, you guys didn't get a chance to meet some of our other staff that normally comes and trains you because of the present situation with COVID-19, but we managed to be able to overcome those obstacles too. And one thing I'd like to say again to this class before we end at the latter part of the ceremony, you guys did absolutely fantastic with the situation that we're in right now. So, with that being said, I'm gonna stop with the welcomes and introductions, and then I'm gonna turn it over, of course, to Mr. Marchand, all right, for the invocation. Let's welcome Mr. Marchand.
guys for the applause. Really appreciate that energy and that warm welcome. Invitation, I'm just saying a prayer. We're from all walks of life, all denominations. I believe there's one God, though, no matter what we call it. Okay? Trying to my best to prepare for this moment. I've seen other people pre-write prayers to pray over people, and I just feel like, I don't know. So my prayer for myself right now is that God will use me to deliver a message to you. Prior to me saying a prayer, I want to let everyone know we all go through things. Each man or woman sitting up here today has been through some type of trial or tribulation. If you haven't been through something, you're probably going through something. And if you're not going through something, there's something headed your way. It's the way it is. But His grace and His mercy is sufficient. Always remember that. Keep that in mind. All right? You please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you as humbly as we know how, Lord. First and foremost, asking for forgiveness for all the sins we committed, knowing and unknowing, dear Heavenly Father. I thank you for this class, Lord, this persevering class, dear Heavenly Father, that pushed through the COVID-19 pandemic, dear Heavenly Father. Thank you for this staff, a new staff, Lord, who has come together and feel like we've been together for years, dear Heavenly Father. I thank you for the growth that I've seen in each and every one of these individuals, dear Heavenly Father. Continue to bless them, protect them and their families as they go forth, dear Lord. Allow them to realize that they're not one person alone, but we're part of a community, dear Heavenly Father, that's striving to be better and do better, dear Heavenly Father. I pray for their all seeds, dear Heavenly Father, their generations to come, dear Heavenly Father. Continue to bless them, lead them, and guide them. In your darling Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to have some reflections and reminiscences from some of your own. All right. I'd like to have come up front to speak to you, Mr. Aaron Flores Benitez.
To reflect on my experience in Cypress, I just want to go ahead and say I'm really glad I gave this program an opportunity. You know, it was 4 months out of like a little bit longer to the COVID, but 4 months, you know, it takes a lot of courage, not only me, but also you guys, you know, take 4 months of your life, no pay, you know, go to, you know, the Cypress training. And to reflect on that, you know, I'm really glad I came here. You know, I learned a lot from the instructors. You know, they taught me what a construction job, what they, you know, demand of you. Not only that, but how, you know, you come here to also be a better person. I want to thank them, and I want to thank all you guys for, you know, I noticed that, you know, throughout, you know, this class, we supported one another, and man, that was awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, next, I'd like to have one of our other students come up, Ms. Taylor Gilmore.
As some of you may know, my name is Taylor Gilmore. Not long before starting this program, I got kicked out the day of my high school graduation. The time before and immediately after the graduation were very stressful, as I was trying to navigate transitioning out of going to school into supporting myself. I was stressing out trying to find a place to live and started working 40+ hours a week at Starbucks. I heard about an ad that was posted on the Starbucks community board advertising this course. I was excited by the opportunity to acquire skills in a field that I thought I would enjoy, and where I could earn a decent living for myself. I applied for the course, and I was super excited when I found out I was accepted. I had no idea what I got myself into, but in reality, I learned a lot of that. I had no idea what I got myself into, but in reality, I learned a lot of skills that would serve me well moving forward. I learned that I can carry a gun rebar around the lot 4 times and squat with a level. I also learned the importance of taking notes when given instruction, to repeat what I heard to make sure I understood correctly, to ask questions if I'm confused, and that employers like it when you show up half an hour before start time, along with a whole lot of other tips and tricks that I know will help me launch into a successful career. I really appreciate all the time and effort that the instructors put into the program, all under the uplifting guidance of Mr. Shanks. Mr. Morshan, who taught us the fundamentals of math and electrical, while also going above and beyond the tips and pointers, and with his kindness. Mr. Scott, who always pushes us to do our best, who gave us extra time in the shop, and who's willing to take students to his job sites to further expose us to more opportunities. Mr. Simmons, who taught us our occupational safety and health fundamentals, and while serious, kept us on our toes with intermittent jokes at our expense. Thank you all for everything you've given us through the program. I'm looking forward to my first job in the construction industry. Not only because I'll be able to earn a good living to support myself, but also because I'm looking forward to having you all here prior. Thank you.
Gilmore did very well in training. Exceptional. Next, I'd like to have come up to give you some reflections is Mr. Aaron Dotson. Mr. Dotson.
Love, honor, and respect. These were the principles that we were tasked with embodying. And I never got to meet this gentleman, but his legacy is living on through us. So it's a privilege to come to this program because definitely I never thought that I would be the person to be standing up here talking to anybody about these qualities because my whole life has been going in a different direction, you know. But I'm very grateful for this opportunity to share a couple of thoughts with you guys and to have gone through the program as well. So Mr. Shanks realized that with love, honor, and respect, could elevate not only yourselves, but you could elevate others. And E. Shanks has helped us to appreciate that we're doing this not only for ourselves, but for our families, our families, our kids. So this is a rare and wonderful opportunity, and might I add, well, not free, but it didn't cost me much other than time, some dedication, and I really appreciate this opportunity. Now, I've learned that there is a lot of value in those three qualities, and I've seen it manifest itself not only in myself, but also in y'all, you know. And y'all know me, man, you know, we can talk all day long. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, but I want to express to you guys how important it is that you don't let nobody discredit what you've done here today. You know, adversity has hit us left and right. COVID-19, fires, bad air quality, you know, the stress, and all of these other things that come along with life itself, beyond having to deal with a situation where this is a diverse group. You know, we got some of everybody up here, women, men, of all different ethnicities, in the midst of a social injustice that is taking place outside of these walls here. So I'm so happy to have did this with y'all, walk this walk with y'all, and just a couple of shout outs. Sylvester Hodges got a brief opportunity to meet that fine brother, and you know, it's a killer for Cypress Mandela. I hear this gentleman talk about him at great length in a very high way, And the day that I went to that, what is it called, orientation, and saw all that wisdom and knowledge standing up there on the stage, man, it made me want to be a part of that, you know. And once they started talking about the values and the standards that they expected from a Cypress student, I was all in. I was all in from that point on. And Mr. Simmons, he is definitely the cement foundation of this program. You know, he comes in here every day. You tell he loves what he does. It inspired me a lot to balance firmness with a sense of humor. So incredible to you know, go through this program with him. Eric Shanks, the unselfish love of the Cypress Mandela family. This man, you know, comes in there to take time out, spend with us, talk with us, you know, impart some wisdom with us, impart some knowledge with us. And you got to do that. He did. He does. I really appreciate that. And our instructors, man, Mr. Marchand, Mr. Scott, those came in here when nobody else would. You know, people walked away because of COVID. But they came in here and they stuck it out with us, man. That's huge. That's huge to you. Should be huge to you too. They could have left us in the wait. It could have been, we don't know. But they came in, they did what they did, and here we go. A wise man from the Middle East once wrote, "Have you beheld a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before common men." We have learned skills. If you took nothing away from this other than be on time to your job, take that, run with that, roll with that. Let's see. COVID-19 changed our lives forever, man. We came out there, we sat out there, man, you know, it was a rough go. It was a rough go. But I didn't let it stop y'all. Our class was much bigger when it started. And here y'all are, man, the final frontier, you know, as it were. So y'all definitely got my respect, my love, you know what I mean? And I hope that you guys have taken away the value from this as I have, you know, because this is just a stepping stone. Continue to step forward, man, don't look back. But if you do look back, remember the good, not the bad. Keep going forward.
Thank you very much. Those accolades for the staff, we really appreciate that from you guys. All right, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I get a chance to mention, of course, we should know by now who the executive director is of the program, right? Yes, sir. All right. Mr. Eric Shanks, let's welcome Mr. Eric Shanks, please. Also, I'd like to introduce Mr. David Edelstein from Virginia. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start to administer the certificates of completion to the students. You guys ready? Yes, sir. This is the rules of engagement. Very good. All right. I'll be calling by your names. You will come up in the order in which I taught you. There will not be any applause by yelling or screaming until all of the certificates have been passed out to everyone in the students. Did you hear the words that come out of my mouth? Yes, sir. I now give everyone the class, summer class of 2020. Daniel Avalos, Sandoval. Brian Maruman, who's not with us, ladies and gentlemen, but he'll be a graduate, or is a graduate, I should say, when we see him. James Boyd. Jacob Glass. Maria Cruz, who's not with us, ladies and gentlemen, because she's working, is a graduate as well. Devon Donihart. Aaron Dotson. Aaron Flores Benitez. Ismael Gardia. Taylor Gilmore. Ramon Gomez. This gentleman right here was part of our OUSD program. I just want to recognize him a little bit because he did absolutely excellent in that program as well as the 16-week. He did fantastic. High school graduate. Esteban Herrera. Andrew Holt Efield. Donald Hogan. Danny Quinn. Rico Lane. Ignacio Serna Magdaleno. Wendell Maganoy. Chelsea Millard. Aaron Hope. Stephen Ruffin. Christopher Saavedra. Warren Kang. Jesus Torres. And last but not least, Miss Siobhan Vines. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for ourselves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to recognize a few people. Okay. If you look at your legend at the very bottom of your program, what the names are, you see we have some identification marks or identifying marks that talk about students that are placed and working. Of course, we know Ms. Cruz is out working right now, but I'd like to talk about the people that are a part of the environmental workforce department and job training. That is a special class that all of you guys were involved in, okay? And some of the pathway training, confined space training, all those components that have to do with environmental work. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we all got a piece of that. There were some that were selected to receive some certificates from that particular agency through the and I'd like to recognize right now. All right? When I call your name, please stand. Brian Broom, he's not here right now, but we'd like to recognize him. James Boyd, please stand. Jacob Class. Devon Dunningham. Aaron Dodson. Aaron Flores Benitez. Ishmael Gardia. Taylor Gilmore. Ramon Gomez. Andrew Hope Eatonfield. Danny Wynn. Rico Lane. Wendell Maganor. Chelsea Millard. Aaron Pope. And Warren Tan. And Siobhan Vines. Ladies and gentlemen, you will be receiving an additional certification through EPA for your participation in some of those environmental courses that you received from Cypress. So we want to just recognize you for that and give you a hand clap here. And this is another tool in the toolbox. Another tool in the toolbox. Thank you very much. Have a seat. We'd also like to recognize, ladies and gentlemen, some of our students that received the search for one of the, I believe, the hardest things to receive here at Cypress. Besides training and discipline is the perfect attendance awards. Now you got to think about it. I've been here for a long time, quite a while, 22 years, and of course, I've never seen anything like this the entire time I've been working here at Cypress. All the adversities that everybody had to go through in order to make it through this program, right? So when someone receives a perfect certificate, that's real big with us, all right? It's also real big with the employer. That's one of the first things that they ask us. They ask us about employment from an individual. So, Mr. Simmons, I have this young man, Mr. Flores Benitez. He's in my office. How do you do in the training program? I mean, was the guy consistent? Well, yes, sir. He was here every day. That's big. All right, they look at that. That's being one of the major things. All right? So those individuals that will be receiving those, I want to stand and recognize them. Devon Dunningham. Aaron Flores Benitez. Aaron Dodson, Ramon Gomez, Danny Wynn, Warren Tang, Jesus Torres. All right, give it up for this individual. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to get ready to, I'm sorry, you guys have a seat. At this time, we're going to get ready to bring up the executive director of the program and also Mr. David Addison for some special awards and some special students that have been dubbed and named to be given these awards in particular. Okay? All right, so give us just a moment, please. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Not quite. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to stand before you. You are the class of 2020 for the summer cohort. I'm going to call you, nickname you COVID, because you have endured, perhaps as Mr. Simmons has described, some of the worst circumstances. And the thing that comes to mind about each of you is, and I'm going to read this. It was something from Mr. Tom across the street, a community partner.
He said, Mr. Shanks, I want to congratulate you on this class. By far, it has been the best class I've seen in all the years that we've been here in East Oakland. So with that distinction, give yourself a round of applause. You said before, the sacrifice, you have to stay. Some of us didn't have homes, and with our homes, we have to deal with very difficult circumstances and people, the lack of finances, opportunity, all these pressures that are against you, saying that you can't do it. And even the experts not really knowing if you can even be within the confined space or classroom like we have. You have illustrated through your efforts that it's possible to put together protocols and still do hands-on training. That's big as well. You have demonstrated by following these protocols that you can stop the spread. So now you develop another skill in your environmental training, demonstrating what are the best practices that are used for that. And which brings me to the next point. One of our board members, Andy Slipka, he was the chairman of the board. He's retired. He's with the Carpenters for many years. He was in marketing and also worked on the governing part for the community relations for the governing bodies. Andy is one of those persons, I can't say enough about him. There's an award that's recognized as the person with the biggest heart. This award came into existence because he lost his brother. And he was so devastated by that he wanted to figure out a way to continue that legacy of that spirit, if you will, that embodies that having a big heart. And so I'm happy to say that the person that was selected by the staff, and it was funny because they didn't really have to say, nobody did at the same time who said the same name, which is kind of unusual, right? And this class is very difficult because I think each of you have huge hearts without saying it. So it became clear, but it was still difficult at the same time. If you would join me in recognizing Ms. Taylor Gilmore. Ms. Gilmore, please step forward. Capture water on top of that. So she said, has a capture water on top. So you never know who's watching, who's paying attention. This is why it's important wherever you go, put your best foot forward, regardless of the circumstances. And we said, one of our things, you can't be running this if you really have something to do. I don't know if ever get the experiment with you. Take an empty bottle, put a pin in it, right? And then shake it. After a while, the rattle will annoy you to the point where you just want to become deaf. And it's exactly what ends up happening on a job site or in our homes. When somebody's rattling off, it's really not much substance. And then you take it, contrast that, put in a bottle with some water, and then fill it up, and then shake it. And you'll notice that which one has more value, and which one is filled with the nickel or penny, or the substance itself. See, the word is indicative of what's in the bottle, substance. So be about what? Substance, and not about the rattle. Less rattle, more substance. And so it's an easy way to identify why it is that we have value in that. And it's hard to really articulate that point because we always want to express what we feel. Sometimes employers don't have time to know what you feel. We have an assignment, we have a task to do. And this is why that I really take my hat off to you. So, I want to not only bring up the next guest, Mr. David, to introduce this, to give you a little background on Mr. Hodges. Some of you had an opportunity to meet him. We're going to do something very special for Mr. Hodges in the coming. We'll invite you back for that. We haven't put it together yet. We've been dealing with COVID. We haven't put together a team. But let me just give you a few highlights. Word that first comes to mind is champion. Second word, gentleman. Third word, educator. Fourth word, he is a community activist. Fifth word, grandfather. Sixth word, he's a father. Seventh word, he's a husband. He's a brother. And let me tell you, not enough walls. Magnanimous. This is a dumb one. His name is on my high school certificate. Dedication. So, never gave up. Always figured out a way around. And this is why this next award, why with a partnership with Brookfield, please stand up. Because with Brookfield Properties coming on as a trade partner, he says, Eric, Margaret is the VP of Brookfield Properties on the Canadian side, and Mike is the other part of this, and we have Josh, who's the Northern California president. And out of this office, they said they wanted to do something impactful. And they didn't want to name the scholarship in Brookfield. They wanted to name it in honor of somebody that meant something to this institution. Not only this institution, but this community. And to be a bridge to be able to scale up and move out. I said, I don't know anybody else with that kind of shoulders and then hands. If you ever know Mr. Hodges, he had enormous hands. So if you didn't comply, you could show you his hands. And then you would comply. Okay? And if that didn't work, he'd whip you with words. And then if that didn't work, he'd whip you with love. And if that didn't work, he'd give you some exercise to do. So at some point, he's going to catch you, right? And that's the spirit. And the knowledge is, as you indicated, is right on. Because that's why he was such, it was a love. He was retired. So he was brought out of retirement to come work here. And even until his sickness, he still came here. Even in his sickness, he said, you know what, I'm coming back. That's a true spirit of a champion. Don't give up on yourselves. You go out fighting to the very end. You go out fighting, but you know what's right. You stand up for those principles that's embodied. And having said that, this person right here, I think she embodies this. Ms. Chelsea Millard. Will you step forward? Give her a round.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I just want to say, and I want to share this really quick before I get Chelsea back, that Eric is very contagious. He is such a good brother, and just from one conversation I had with him, he expressed so much about you guys that this is what I want. Honestly, he's the one that made it so possible because he's inspiring. If you ever have a conversation with Eric, Eric is very inspiring. And he inspired me to help you guys. So give thanks to Eric because he's very important. He does this for you guys. He does it out of his heart. And that's a great thing. There's no motivation better than doing something from you. And what we did with Chelsea is she was picked. We're going to give her a $2,000 money award. I bought her a really nice starter toolkit, and I'm also going to give you an additional gift of a tablet, of a new tablet, so that you can stay in touch. These are all things that you need. And honestly, this is just the beginning for Brookfield and Cypress. We are going to put in place a job program, so when you guys graduate, I can have some jobs ready for you guys. This was thrown together really quickly, so we did the best we could do for this class. But in in the future, I'm going to work with Cypress closely, and Eric, and all the great instructors. I appreciate you guys so much too. And I just want to thank you guys for letting Brookfield be a part of this. Because the way I feel, you guys are doing something for the community. You guys are doing something for us. So I thank you for letting us be a part of it. And all you guys are very special. You enjoyed a lot. You got through it. Anything is possible. I don't care. We didn't think Obama. In my lifetime, I never thought I'd see a black president. And that's the truth. So anything is possible. So I want you guys to remember that. And also, when you leave here, keep in touch with these people. Don't just leave here, start your career, or start wherever you're going to go, and forget where you came from. Because that's one of the things that Eric does. He grounds us. He makes us remember where we came from and what it's about. And it's about the community. It's not about being selfish. It's not even about you leaving here today and you having a job. Keep in touch with all these people. Keep in touch with your instructor. Keep in touch with Eric. Eric is a wonderful resource and a wonderful person to talk to. If you're stressed out, things aren't going well, keep in touch with all these positive people. Because when you surround yourself with people like this, there's nothing but up. There's nowhere to go but up. So I just wanted to thank you again for including Brookfield in this. And we're going to try to do more and more to make it better for everybody. I thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a seat. Brookfield made actually two commitments. One that the student that was doing really well, and another student that required a lot more effort, and that they could continue and mentor. And so we're still working on our second person who's not with us today. I just do want to recommend or recognize a couple more people, because without this, the staff, we wouldn't be able to do this. You've already met Mr. Simmons, and he's committed to 22 years here, and then, he's also a cement mason still by trade, so he's looking forward to his retirement, but he has another 30 years to go. I want to recognize also Mr. Craig. He and I grew up together. You guys may not know this. He may not have shared that story. So our values are pretty much in line. And I knew when I talked to him, I had to talk to him a few times. I won't tell you his nickname. Let's just say that I really appreciate him. I want to thank him for coming on to the staff as well. It's a key part to building Cypress, as you well know, that we suffered major losses. In 2018 and 2019, we lost pillars. And to replace the pillars, you have to find people with the same dedication and the same drive towards the mission. And you guys are the ambassadors to that mission here. And Mike, I can't say enough about you, that personality, coming in on the map and also on the electric, really huge. And he advocates for you guys like no tomorrow. It's a different way. Actually, each of them did, and figured out ways to really make it possible for you to develop and achieve. And then we have to balance that where you go afterwards. Even as the economy starts to tank, we find ways to put you back to work in different ways. So we're not going to give up on you. You didn't give up on yourself, so we can't give up on you. We can only give up if you're not there. And then that's just disappointment. But what you don't see is behind the scenes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude the summer 2020 COVID-19 class of Cypress Administration. The work is here. It's coming. All right, so don't fade away. All right. right, don't disappear. And make sure you stay in contact with us, like Mr. Anderson just said. Call, check in, come up here. Man, discipline. Mr. Marchand talked about this the other day. I mentioned it too, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your last order. Goodbye. Don't go, sorry. Yeah, we need to get some pictures, you guys. Class.
Class picture, so I'll leave that to the people here. So we can do that.
We sit down.
Good evening, class. Not too late to do push-ups. Yeah, I need to give somebody some push-ups. I'm down here, the park is here. Where Trent at?